lurking back there like that, buddy? He is hilarious. So, as y'all can see by the title, this is gonna be a chatty. Well, not really. I don't know. I can't even tell you what it's gonna be. That's just what's the question that's on my mind. So I am right now cleaning up. I wanted to work on some videos, but I agreed to meet up with a homegirl who was in town just for the weekend. I think she's flying out later tonight or maybe early tomorrow. Um, and I agreed to go meet and hike with her. And then after that, I have to go do an Amazon ship that I picked up. That's a really long one. So my day is kind of shot. And I was sitting at my desk trying to like, I was like, all right, let me just try to push out 2 videos, at least record real quick. And I just really couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to a point to like rush to get it done. So I said, okay, what's the other things that you need to do? Maybe you don't get some new videos up today, but you can, while you're hiking, you can continue to write down ideas. You can write down jokes, different things that you want to include in your videos. But what could you do before? And I'm like, okay, I've been needing to clean up certain areas of my home. So I will do that. That is something that once it's done, it's done. It doesn't leave me open loop. So it's not me recording the audio and then still haven't edited. So it's still waiting on my mind of like, oh, there's audio here and it hasn't been edited. I need to get it up. All of that. How does this tie into the can you have it all thing? One thing that's like resonating for me right now is like we can have it all. It's just that typically we cannot have everything that we want all at the exact same time in the exact moment of time that you want it. And I am making peace with that. So, like, for example, I wanted to hit the ground running and like push out a bunch of content today, but I also want to show up really well in my friendships and my relationships. I want to hit certain financial things, certain financial goals. So it's really just about reordering the things that I tackle in a day to prioritize whatever needs to be prioritized or it's like a little bit more time sensitive. So for example, my friend does not live here anymore. So there is not a like infinite amount of time where I can like kick it with this person. So that becomes a top priority today. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Um, Thank you, Chris. Hey, Angela. Um, Great example. It's like moments like I'm trying to do what I gotta do, and then my dad calls in 9 minutes and 19 seconds. So I gotta mute this, deal with what he's talking about because we're currently dealing with an eviction in one of our properties in the Virgin Islands. I'm trying to do all of the things. So I have to mute this just because of like private, confidential information. Not trying to blast it over the internet. Um, but that becomes little interruptions, and I don't think that we really register how disruptive interruptions are. They say it takes you like 23 minutes to get back into a task after you've been interrupted from doing said task. Um, so I was thinking, it's so funny, Angela. I was thinking, I don't want you to take no offense to this, but I literally was just processing and thinking about the question that you asked me yesterday, or not necessarily a question, the statement that you made. And you said it sounds like I have a lot of fires or a lot of irons in the fire. And you're right. And I think naturally, it's very easy to take that negatively. Hold on. I think it's very easy to take something like that negatively just because of the connotation that society puts on it. Come on, J. Cole. Now I got y'all. Look at these CDs. Look at these CDs. Just on my damn. And this is I had these still. I moved here like 7 years ago. Cole, what are you doing up there? Stop. Hey. What are you doing? So, this is crazy. Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Cold World. Hilarious. 2011, this one was released. 2012, this one was released. Freaking hilarious. I think it's easy to like take that badly, but I try to and I don't think that that was the intention at all. So I don't want you to worry about that. Not to say that you would, but just in case. Oh, this is from the damn refrigerator. What the hell was I saying? I know what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out how to bridge the gap so it sounds like I'm making sense because I feel like I'm not making no sense right now, which is completely understandable. I think, well, okay. I'm the type of person who, especially in this particular season of my life, I won't say I was like this my entire life because I wasn't. I think that I have the capability of being a very defensive person, and that's something that I actively want to avoid. Y'all, I have these little lights that go on the line of my steps, and I love them. They're motion sensor, but I need to replace the batteries and I need to clean them because they're not working right now because all the batteries are dead, and I don't know if I have enough AAA batteries. Anyway, now I would definitely say I'm the type of person who, if something bothers me, or not even if it bothers me, if it makes me think, even for a second, like a second thought, which a lot of things do, then I'll ask myself why, and I'll really try to investigate and get to the bottom of like, if I do feel a way, why do I feel a way about this thing? And I think in like investigating the whole like you feel a way about that you have a lot of irons in the fire comment. I feel like I feel a way because of the negative connotation that that has. Almost is like to say you're doing too much without saying you're doing too much. And I think that there are use cases when that could be the case. I just don't know if my current living situation is that, right? But it can seem that way for people who just don't live a life similar to mine, or isn't put in the circumstance to survive in the way that I have chosen in a lot of ways to survive. I don't even know if y'all can hear me because I don't know if it's too far. So when I think about that, one, it helps me. Hold on. Well, partly, I have been able to make peace with the comment, simply off the strength of the fact that you kind of have to, mind the person or persons the feedback or comment is coming from. And again, this is no shade to you at all, Angela, but I'm assuming that we don't live similar lives, and it's really hard, much like my family, it's really hard to fathom certain things if you don't live it. So in a lot of ways, when people default to tell content creators, oh, just get an assistant, or oh, just take a vacation, or oh, you just have too much going on, or I don't know, a myriad of other things. Those are just the most recent things that I've either heard or been told in the last like 30 days. We have to take into consideration that from the outside looking in, it seems as simple as that. It seems as easy as that. Because our lives are not easily understood by the regular average Joe. And that's not, again, no shade in reference to saying average Joe. It's just for like lack of better words. My situation is even more complicated than just a typical content creator who is solely focused on creating their content, because I kind of have to weave in and out of two aligning industries, but still very different industries, as a up and coming indie filmmaker, and then also as a content creator in the space. And then on top of that, I am the eldest daughter to an immigrant father, and we have family businesses. So things just look a lot different for me. I do have a lot of irons in the fire. And sometimes that's going to be overwhelming. Sometimes it's going to be uncomfortable. Sometimes it's going to be glorious. Sometimes it's going to look like I'm balancing and handling everything beautifully. There's ebbs and flows in all of it. But in going back to make a peace with that particular statement, I really had to be like, well, they don't understand. They couldn't possibly understand. I was going through this morning and responding to comments on some of my sister's videos. And there's some people who like just blatantly outright heard what they heard and did not hear what was said. So this one person said, well, I heard you or Allie, Erica. I heard you and Allie. No, maybe it was Allie. Like literally, this is what the comment says. I heard you and Allie, or just Allie, say that she was going to watch Zatima for more Karen content, but she might as well go ahead and not watch Zatima because it's not about Karen, and it's a better show because it's better acting, better action, better storylines, this, that, like went on and on and on. And I'm just like, so if you, hey Shanoa, So I'm like, so if you really wasn't listening, just say that. And I responded to the comment and like, yo, I really wish that more of y'all came to this content with better intentions, because the defensiveness is annoying. Allie never said that she's watching Zatima so that she can get more Karen content. She said that she was watching Zatima so that if Karen is mentioned, she would know about it so that she can actually speak to it. Because if they decide to build on Karen's storyline outside of Sisters and continuously bring her name up, which they have on this damn show, she wants to be privy to it so she can continue to do an excellent job of actually covering Sisters and one of her favorite sisters, Karen, thoroughly. That's what she said. But you heard something completely different, and you heard something based off of your bias, and that, I know it don't seem like it's related to what I was saying before, but it is, because most people, and I will just have to clean it up later, I guess, I don't know, but most people move through the world just completely unaware of self, unaware of their true intentions, unaware of their feelings, deep-seated feelings that may be really bothering them. And then they go out into the world and they engage with others with that, not being fully accountable to that. And then now everybody else has to deal with you bleeding all over us because you ain't healed from whatever the hell you got going on. And while, you know, the comment of like Erica just get an assistant, or Erica take a vacation, or Erica you got a lot of irons in the fire, isn't coming from necessarily, I think, a hurt place on anybody else's part. It is coming from a place of like not taking into consideration, I'm offering up advice or I'm offering up a perspective that is completely different from the lived experience of the person that I'm offering this information to. Is this actually going to be helpful? Is this actually considering this person? Or am I applying what I would deem my blanketed advice to help, or thoughts to help, because that's what would help me, but I actually have no idea what would help this other person. She knows that I was watching you live from yesterday when I saw your profile pic was red. I feel like I haven't caught a live in forever. Child, I feel like you was just here a couple days ago. I'm talking about yesterday. Angela mentioned to me that it feels like I have a lot of irons in the fire, and I've been reflecting on that statement over the last 24 hours and trying to unpack my issue I take with it. Not any issue I have with Angela, because I don't have no issue with her at all, but just that. So like that's kind of what I'm talking about, and like loosely weaving all of these things together. But again, y'all, these are just my thoughts while I'm trying to clean up this damn hallway because I'm trying to be a good friend and show up and connect with my friends while also still having a ton of fucking work to do. And in the moment feeling like everything is spiraling and I need to really get my shit together. But right now I'm doing the best that I possibly can. I picked a task that still needed to be done that was a little bit low on my to-do list, but it's more feasible in the time constraints that I have, because I have to meet up with her to go on this hike in a few. So like, let's get something done. And me sitting there staring at my goddamn computer trying to make myself record videos on this time crunch was not going to be productive at all. So, alas. We are finally getting this hallway together a little bit, I guess. I need to find, where the hell is my attachment for my vacuum? Or I need to order some new attachments or something, child. Because I'm missing out on some things. Oh, I also tried to, I'm not going to say try. I'm going to continue watching. But I was just falling asleep on it yesterday. I need to clean this vacuum out. Gross. I started watching episode 2 of Queenie, but I fell asleep because I was so tired by the end of the night. And I mainly kept watching or started the next episode because I want to unpack what my issue is with these trifling ass interracial relationships. That's not to be confused with me saying all interracial relationships are trifling, because I'm not saying that at all. But I deeply, deeply take issue with seeing specifically, well, actually not specifically, because I don't like to see it when it's a white woman and a black man, and a white woman is tripping. What is the issue aside from like the inherent like clear one that makes me feel so strongly, like so much so where I wanted to stop watching Queenie, because of the white elements and specifically white peopling in a way that like promotes white supremacy and downplays black people, and then having to watch a black character try to navigate that and like question their self-worth and abilities up against this freaking goofy ass white supremacist measuring stick. I don't know. I don't know what to call it. But because I felt so viscerally like I don't want to watch this shit, I literally was like, okay, well, you need to watch this shit because it's making you feel a way, and we need to understand, one, specifically what those feelings are, and two, why do you have them, and why do they feel so visceral for you? And I really wish, like, of course, everybody's not going to be me. Like, I'm me. So I'm not saying I want anybody to be me. But I really wish more people took time to do that. I wish more people took time to be triggered, annoyed, pissed off. Even like when you're like so joyful and like overwhelmed with happiness, they took more time in those moments to ask themselves why and to like investigate why. So in the moments of like negativity or pissivity, you could better understand your triggers, yourself, and then like how to handle it or avoid it if need be. But then also in the feelings of joy, how to actually recreate that. Like investigating it will look like getting to the bottom of like what specifically of this thing is making you feel just so amazing, right? So right now I'm trying to unpack that, and I'm kind of like force feeding myself the show Queenie so that I can hopefully answer that. And it's interesting because as I started watching it, now I'm starting to see it served up on my socials. And I'm seeing all these people like praising the show, like, oh my God, I love this show. I love this show so much. And I'm like, oh wow, I can't relate. Would I love to? Yes, but I can't relate. So it's making me even more intrigued to just be able to better articulate my issue, I guess. And I just wish more people did that. And also wish, which I guess this is never going to happen because it's more profitable for it not to happen. But like, for example, I have come across at least 3 dozen, 4 dozen people on socials praising Queenie content, like praising this Queenie show. I don't find it in my heart. I don't feel compelled to go and scream out how I think that these people are wrong and I don't see it and y'all must be dumb or something like that. Like how people do to me. It's just bananas to me. Like, we don't agree. Okay, cool. Even like Angela, who suggested the show to me and she said it was good, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm struggling with about the show. But I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong for thinking it's good. I'm gonna ask, well, what do you think was good about it? And the parts that she mentioned hadn't come up yet. So I'm like, oh, okay. But I can be truthful about my experience with the content while also not diminishing or disrespecting other people's experiences with the content. And I know that's like, girl, keep dreaming, Erica, because that's not gonna happen in reference to wishing people would ask themselves that shit before coming and being a goddamn terrorist in my comments. Child. Freaking text from a client. Oh, going back. I'm jumping all over the place, so hopefully y'all still with me. Going back to the whole, like, a lot of irons in a fire. Well, not necessarily specifically that, actually. Me, sitting with and thinking about, like, okay, damn it. You got a lot of irons in the fire. Should you not have so many irons in the fire? What would it look like if you don't have as many irons in the fire? And on a broad scale, because again, I've only been reflecting on this for 24 hours, so I haven't fully unpacked it. But hey, Zinga, for me, I have done the work of like cutting a bunch of unnecessary stuff, but the things that are pulling me in multiple directions right now are things. I live by a train, and every now and again shit starts shaking because the train rides by. I have already purged the things I feel like I need to purge. The things now are active choices, and it's just about balancing it. I think to drop a bunch of my irons, right, it would look like me deprioritizing things that actually matter to me, and in creating or cultivating a life that I actually want. It can't look like what society would deem okay, what people would deem like is just enough and not too much, right? So I have to take that into consideration. Like, I want to be a very dutiful daughter. I want to, because we need it, unfortunately, be the glue that my family needs. Like, bridge this gap that's currently happening. I need to put my phone on the charger real quick. Hold on, y'all. All right. To be a beautiful daughter, bridge this gap, because right now there's a bunch of things happening with family, tied to family business, that don't really have other people to show up for it. And I'm having to step in a lot of ways that I can't drop that unless I want to denounce or like just abandon family business, right? I've already cut my client list down to one one client that was super easy, and then they brought on somebody else that they want me to work with to help them. So like that has been a little bit of a transitionary period, but it's still doable. It's just about reestablishing boundaries and like communicating clearly and like standing firmly on certain things that pertains to pricing for this new addition. So that's fine. Within content creating, I think I'm always in flux when it comes to my main channel, because I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to just be like everybody else. So that's like an internal issue or journey that I'm constantly on, and I'm always trying to innovate. So in the times where I feel like what I'm offering isn't enough, or not necessarily isn't enough, but isn't like profound enough, then I start to stall. And as I'm trying to figure out what is that new thing going to be, or how am I going to elevate, then that kind of slows things down and creates a lack of momentum Okay, cool, cool, cool. Still very actively writing, pitching, and making connections for my own short films, series, and feature films. And that's a part of it as well. Like, that's ultimately where I want to be and be solely. So that's a part of it. So, and then aside from career, like, I want to be a person who shows up better within my friendships because I live in LA and most of my like close friends don't actually live in LA. It requires a little bit more, like a little bit more scheduling, a little bit being a little bit more strategic. So like moments like this of like, yo, I'm popping into LA. Of course I'm gonna figure it out. Like of course I'm gonna adjust so that I can be there. But if I don't do that, then I deprioritize friendships. And I think the resistance that I feel as it pertains to like trying to do everything, trying to balance it all, trying to manage all the irons in the fire, if you will, comes with like it just naturally comes with, and it's unavoidable if you actually are living an intentional life. If you actually are making decisions for certain things and have a why and are committed to that, then you're naturally going to experience resistance in trying to make it all work and trying to make it all fit. So that's kind of like what I've reconciled. And then I think a lot of people might not necessarily get that, or you may, but people who don't get it might not get it because they're living a very different life in that they're kind of just existing and they're not truly being intentional, making certain decisions, and committing to said decisions. Because a lot of the things that we might decide morally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, based on how our world is set up, based on how we're governed, based on how we're socialized, based on how like the meritocracy works, if you are choosing things for your greater self, it's going to be out of alignment with like the way the world works. So you're going to receive resistance, period, because of that, right? Like if you just want to be hyper connected, like specifically, let me give you LA for example. LA is a very hard city to build community in at times, if you're in the entertainment industry. Because if you're native to LA, like that's completely different. If you don't deal with the entertainment industry and you live in LA, completely different experience. But if you're in the entertainment industry, it's hard because of how transactional some things can be, because of how hard you have to go, because of how expensive it is here, because you're also trying to survive while getting your art out there, right? And the moment you choose, like I have chosen to only really prioritize relationships that are built on real things and like community that is built for more than how can we move our careers forward, then that automatically puts me against the current where I am, right? So there's natural resistance that come with that. So I would say that. So like when you are looking at someone who might be sharing their life or another content creator that you like and you might feel like they're doing too much, have too many irons in the fire, I would try to take this perspective of like, let me get as holistic of a view as I possibly can, um, before I dub what they're doing is too much or give the vacation advice or whatever. Um, because, yeah, especially if the person is trying to be intentional, trying to commit and dedicate to the things that they truly believe, it's never going to be an easy thing. It was never going to be a walk in the park. It was always going to have resistance. And that's just that. And this also not just coming from the comment made yesterday, but also I went on a live for another content creator on TikTok last week, and she was getting so frustrated by her audience because she's in Bali right now. She has like a house in Bali, and she like basically does like retreats or something like that. So when she goes to Bali, it's for work. And she happens to bring her mom this time to while she's like trying to set things up. But she's also a full-time content creator and she's also a consultant. So she's trying to entertain her mom during the day, go on excursions and eat out and get her to see Bali, do what she has to do for her rental property during the day as well, in addition to like dealing with her mom. And then at night she has to create her content, turning things for brands, do social media audits and return client emails and stuff like that. And she was on live and she was very overwhelmed, and everybody just kept telling her, you need to get assistant, and why aren't you joining your vacation? It's like And she said something that was so profound. It's like, okay, I get it now. You see me at this beautiful place, and because you live a life working a 9 to 5, you automatically assume tropical palm trees or whatever. Because I'm in Bali, that automatically means vacation, when I actually have business here. My life looks completely different. And for you, you would hope, you would love to be in this place, and it would be a vacation for you, but this is not an automatic vacation for me. And I'm like, that's exactly it. And to the audience members' grace, I'm not gonna say credit, I like really understand, like, they just don't get it. They don't get it. And that's cool. We have to, I guess, measure how we take in commentary from our audience, because we have to understand in that context of, like, they really don't get it. No matter what you say, um, they're not gonna get it in the way that they would need to have um, a conversation in a meaningful way. But that doesn't mean stop sharing. It doesn't mean create a wall. But it could, for some creators, I have noticed that it does look like that. And I can't even blame them, because to feel like you're criticized when you share your life, it can be a hard thing to take in. So, I don't know. At this point, I'm just rambling and I ain't cleaning. And that was the whole point of me doing this. Well, one, I need to go live, because I felt like once I do this hike, I'm definitely not going to be live, because my friend is like a celebrity woman. And I'm very, very cognizant of, like, my people. Not that this makes her any different, but, like, you just got to respect people's images and perspectives. Like, I feel like I'm so protective of my family and friends. And she probably would totally be down to be on live. But again, and this also is a moment for us to connect and, like, share. So I knew I wasn't going to be on live with her. And then I have to do some running around later. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get to this live. Let me go ahead and get it done now. Oh, it's 11. I gotta get ready to go. Oh my God. Shit! I just got an email. I sent an email confirming the shoot that was supposed to be on Thursday. Now they're talking about, oh, it's gonna be on Friday. You sent me date, like, times for Thursday. And it really throws a freaking wrench. Anyway. But it's all a part of it. It's all a part of it. Managing people's miscommunication is all a part of it. Okay, let me try to read some of these comments before I get ready. That's smart. Sometimes switching a lower priority task that you know you have time for and energy to complete is the best move. It is. Like, I feel so great about this goddamn hallway that has been the bane of my existence for so long. I forgot about Queenie coming out. I watched the trailer a while back, but I wasn't pulled to watch it at all. Well, Angela got me to watch it yesterday, and girl, I just have these very visceral feelings that I want to better understand. Because I kind of, like, have, like, this no nonsense, no tolerance policy, and I'm just kind of like, well, girl, is that the right move? And not to say something is right or wrong, because if it's what I want to do, it's what I want to do. Cool. But I really just want to understand it, honestly. Because the way I immediately, within the first 11 minutes, I was just like, this ain't the show for me. And I want to understand what the hell. I was just saying what you mean. I was just telling my nephew again the other day to interrogate his feelings. Yes. Ask yourself why you feel the way that you do. Everything has a reason. Adult friendships are harder than I imagined they would be as a kid. So much harder. And not in the person is just so difficult. But I think the difficulty. Oh, these freaking spider webs. I need to get a duster. Oh, I got some down here. Hold on. Also, I'm like trying to figure out where I need certain things based off of what I reach for when I'm trying to clean. I don't need a duster. go at it with this goddamn broom. What was I supposed to say? I don't remember. Child. Oh, adult friendships are hard. I think that they are harder because depending on where you're at in your adulthood, you have a certain level of awareness of your needs. And the difficulty comes in like trying to honor your friendships in a way that you deem the best possible and makes you the best friend that you could possibly be, so partly in your ego. And how can you also show up for yourself? I literally had to be like, okay, one, we about to do the damn stairs. This shit's about to be hard. My legs hurt so bad because I've been on Amazon all weekend. And I don't even feel like I'm going to get up these goddamn stairs. But I know that she really wants to do them because they are a really hard workout and she loves them. And it's an LA thing. So I'm going to do it. And it's like, I had to think like, okay, how important are my needs right now versus her needs? And what do I want her to feel like? And what do I need to do that's going to get her to feel like that? And it's to show up for this. So I'm going to do it. So I think that that's part of the hardest part. My phone is going off upstairs, but I can't even right now. Yeah, I get what you're saying. A lot of people only see the privilege of consecration and none of the drawbacks. Oh my God. Like, and I get it, because part of the job is like showing y'all that nobody is here. Well, I mean, some people are. I'll be here for it. But a lot of people are not here to watch somebody else struggle. It's like, nigga, I can watch myself if you're going to just put struggle on the screen. Like, show me the villas and the money and the men and all of that, which is something that I definitely, like, I think struggle with a lot as it pertains to my personal, this channel, because I wanted to do it in a way that was just very authentic. And for all intents and purposes, I have not made it yet. Like, I just have not made it yet. I'm a regular ass person doing regular ass shit most of the time. Honestly, I probably will still be doing a bunch of regular ass shit when I do make it, right? And I struggle with, like, don't nobody want to see that. Like, don't nobody give a fuck, Erica, that breaking into the entertainment industry as an indie filmmaker is hard. Don't nobody want to, you know, unpack with you why you feel the way that you do, or why this hurt your damn feelings. Don't nobody want to watch you feel empowered with being alone when they have already created a narrative in their mind that loneliness is the worst thing that you could possibly experience. So that kept me from doing these lives or even doing my vlogs, because I felt like for so long the shit that I want to talk about is so regular, and most people are like signing on and following content creators for the fantasy that they provide. And I think multiple things can be true. Like, there are a lot of people who are doing that, but there's a growing number of people who want to be affirmed in the reality that they're living is actual reality, and it's not something that's wrong with them, but the world is really fucked up in a lot of ways, and a lot of people are actually struggling. Lord, I cannot wait to mop these stairs. Especially if it seems like what you're doing and they don't. That's what I've noticed, at least. Yep. Yeah, that's true, Chanel. And that's how the viewers are conditioned to see people only show certain things. Of course, they're not going to get it, you know. Been doing Amazon all weekend. Like deliveries, yep. So I picked up Amazon Flex. My power went out on... Well, first my internet went out. So I'm like, okay, bet. I'll just go, because I can't upload videos. I'll just go and pick up some shifts. Then my power went out. So I'm like, oh, I definitely ain't going to go back home. And then I found more shifts on Sunday, so I did them Sunday. And I went to the movies yesterday. I did a bunch of shit yesterday. And then I picked up a shift for later tonight, but it's a really long one. But is it struggle or real life? I think people are sick of the fakery. You think? You think they tired yet? I know I am. But I also, because I have, in addition to like, before I was a content creator, I literally produced content creators. Like, one of my biggest clients was a lifestyle tech and beauty influencer who had a million YouTube subscribers before 2016. Like, OG YouTube girly. Produced her. Produced and managed all social for Shanti. Like, I can see a lot. I can see through so much just because I have been behind the scenes orchestrating the shit to look how it looks in the content. So I think I might be a little bit jaded in that I can't tell if people are really over the fakery yet because I have been seeing through it for years. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I respect the realness most because life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. That's real. Show me what's really tea because I'm going to support even harder and cut even louder when you accomplish your goals. But I also know that most people want to see only good stuff. Yep. Does Amazon have 24/7 deliveries? Not necessarily, or at least not in the LA area. I don't know about other areas. I actually started this when they first started the program back when I was living in Baltimore, and I just transferred it over here because at the end of the day, my little immigrant-minded ass daddy always want to make sure or ingrained in me to hustle, like be able to make money whenever, however. So I transferred it over here, and anytime I just want to make a couple extra bucks, I do it. And the earliest shifts that I have seen are like 3:45 in the morning. That's pickup. So I had one of those. I had a 3:45 Saturday, and I had a 4 a.m. yesterday. And then the last pickup, I think, is 7. And that's like usually a 7 to 10. But there's various shifts of various lengths. Anytime between 3:45 a.m. and 10 p.m. I think they want everybody back by. They want everybody to do their last drop off by 10 p.m. So between like 10 and 3:30 in the morning, there is nobody delivering Amazon. But baby, especially if you order, I deliver a lot out of a warehouse that does overnight. Like when people order and they get the overnight shipping, it comes from this particular warehouse for the LA area. But yeah, the only way that happens is if we get our asses up at 3:45 and we're there and we get these things in our car by 4 a.m., 4:15, and then we out on the road. Like I be at people's houses at 4:30 in the morning, dropping it all, taking a little picture. Yes, ma'am. Even that, like I thought so much about if I was even going to share that with y'all. But like while I've been doing this daily live thing, it's like so clear that there's big chunks of time that I'm like missing in action, or the lives are a lot shorter, right? Because I'm doing this for a couple hours. And I'm like, do I tell people this? Does this look bad if I tell people like, oh, I also do this other thing? And that's definitely something I had to like think about, negotiate. And then I'm like, well, it's real. And if people want to regard me with less expertise or perspective because I'm hustling just like everybody else, then so be it, you know? And if I got a peer that want to look at me differently, then so be it. Because half of them are struggling for real, to make ends meet and to keep up a certain facade as it pertains to how much money they're making. These brands are paying late. And some of people's faves are really struggling out here because of it. So now I'm not gonna make it my whole personality. I actually know this girl on TikTok who got banned from Amazon because she used to TikTok every single shift she did, and apparently like some people called and got her fired or whatever, so they banned her from the platform. I don't do any of that stuff, but I will answer y'all's questions and I will, mention it because it's what I'm experiencing. It's my life right now. Is there a button to make this go down? That's interesting. I'll be wondering how they do it. Yeah, some of them work for Amazon. So when you see people in the trucks, they actually work for Amazon. But there's a lot of people just delivering out of their cars, and that's from the Amazon Flex program. And I personally like like it because I used to do Uber and Lyft, and people in my car, I don't like it. Lyft, I had to stop because I was down in like near San Diego, picking up some drunk people from the club, and this guy, like somebody ordered a car for this guy, this Mexican guy. He was drunk as shit, and I don't think he was trying anything, but he grabbed my fucking shoulder right here, trying to get my attention, and I fucking lost it. And I'm like, see, I can't do this shit. I like doing flex. I've tried. Have I tried I think I tried DoorDash. Don't like it. You don't make enough for as much work as you do, for as much miles that you put in your car. I like flex because it's not the best pay, but it's better than most. And I ain't got to deal with no people. I ain't got to talk to no people. Nobody ain't got to be in my goddamn car. It's just me, these packages, and my damn dog. And Coley love it because he love a car ride. Okay? I love TikTok videos like that. DoorDash, Instacart, Amazon drivers be interesting content. The Amazon drivers got to be careful because they really booted that girl. But I really feel like it was a bunch of haters that kept harassing Amazon. I watched a bunch of her stuff, and they tried to say that they had to kick her off because she compromised people's safety. I think that she did a little bit too much getting too close to people's houses, like don't record on people's porches. But I don't feel like she compromised anybody's goddamn safety. It was people doing what they do best on the goddamn internet. The net 30, 60, 90 is so insane for me from the outside looking in. Pay them people on time. They don't. And they don't plan to. That's also why when y'all do see me doing brand deals, just know my shit is right. Because I don't accept my net 60s, net 90s. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about. Y'all have money and y'all gonna pay me. Period. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Been down that road. It's not for me, babes. It's really not. Because the amount of stuff that you have to buy and you have to do. I need to find a place for these shopping bags to get stored. Just to make that little content happen. I will only do net 60 because I won't do a net 90. I don't give a fuck. I will do a net 60 if y'all pay the deposit and you're paying for everything, all the costs up front. So if I gotta rent a studio, if like any of those costs, you pay for those up front and you pay a deposit, then I'll take a net 60. I'm still not taking a net 90. I just won't take the goddamn deal. And that's just that on that. Argue with y'all's mamas, because I'm not. Net 30, 60, 90 is basically when the brand, in the contract, the brand agrees to pay you 30 days after the thing is completed, 60 days after the thing's completed, 90 days after the thing's completed. Alright, so we got the hallway kind of together, but not really. I got a mop and whatnot. I don't know if he's gonna live here. Y'all see. But that's it for right now. I need to go change. I feel like the sun's coming out for real. And I need to get my ass over to go do this hike. Sometimes we don't realize how much we do until we say it out loud. I kind of can agree. I think I have always done a lot. So my default is that I'm doing a lot. Like in high school, I played 4 sports. In college, before Katrina, I started out playing 2. Like, it was literally contracted on 2 teams. They split my scholarship. So that's like 2 and 3 days. I was also pre-med. So I'm very used to like the steady state of like Erica's doing a lot. But I can get how a lot of people don't think about how much they're doing until they say it. Are you coming to this hike with me? I think I gotta take you, Kobe, because I'm not gonna be able to get all the way back over here before this Amazon ship to come and get you. And you will kick my ass if I leave you out. Um, wow, I've heard people talk about it, but not in those terms. Yeah, those are normal. Yeah, I played volleyball, basketball, tennis, and I did track. So tennis and track were in the same season. It's a little bit less demanding in the season as compared to like volleyball and tennis, but still very physical. And the crazy thing is, like, in those seasons for school, I also still have volleyball club. So technically, I was playing three sports at the time because I really just needed to stay active all year. But I was playing three sports because I had my two that was attached to my school and competing, in the spring season. And then I had from 7 to 9 every night club volleyball practice, which is like AAU volleyball. All right, y'all. I need a real sports bra because, baby, this little one here is not gonna cut it. Um, but I also don't want those are too tight. These are. Where are the rest of my goddamn leggings? This. Oh God, you were working, yeah. That's why I had a whole moment of exhaustion. I had to like dial it back at some point. I was like, man, I gotta get out the hood. No, I really wanted to get a college scholarship, so I did everything I possibly could, Cha. And then when I look back, I still am like, damn, you could have went a little bit harder. You could have been a little bit more strategic in your efforts. Even though I don't regret any of it, I just know if I have kids that want to play sports, I know what I would tell them. I know how I would guide them. Also, I didn't have, like, I had my coaches who were amazing, but like my mom didn't give a shit about sports. So I didn't really have help at home. And my father, he understood that I played, but he also lived in Detroit and I was in Baltimore during the year, right? So he understood that I played, but he always prioritized academics. So he felt like anything outside of the actual schoolwork was extra and nobody gives a fuck about that. It wasn't until I got my college scholarships that he was like, oh, okay, so yeah, you need to prioritize this in basketball, basketball, basketball. And it's like, but when I was trying to do this and play AAU, I used to remember trying to like beg my father to not come to Detroit over the summer so I could play AAU with my basketball team. He's like, no, the agreement is you're in Detroit. At the first day after school ends, I was on a plane to Detroit. I did not come back to Baltimore until the day before school was supposed to start. Before I got to high school, because I went to a public high school. But before I got to high school in elementary and middle, that means that I got all my like fittings and stuff for my private school, whatever, in Detroit. He was not playing no games. Like my father stood on business about everything that he said. Crazy, crazy. uh, where's my favorite sports bra? Y'all, why they make this big deal about when you renew your passport? You gotta send your passport in, and it can't be messed up, and it can't be this, and it can't be that. And then them people wind up sending it back to you. They send me my old passport back, and I'm like, well, what the hell I need this for? I like you do a lot. I was that person until I got sick. Now I'm trying to push through my illness and doing so much. I admire it. Oh, thank you, Angela. I mean, you also just have to be very. Sorry, let me see what time it is. I have to break out the door. You gotta be mindful of the season that you're in, and while it's cool to push yourself, we also have to honor the seasons that we're in, and don't spend too much time longing. I mean, not to say don't long to be healthy and to be free and clear of any illness, because yes, hope for that, pray for that, push for that. Um, but I also just think honoring the season that you're in and still having gratitude and grace for whatever that season looks like will be a part of the thing that moves you through it. Give me 2 seconds. I need to change. Okay. I need to get some more sunscreen. I just did this Tiny K Beauty campaign on my TikTok, and he didn't clearly explain when they paid in the initial info. It gave a time frame for rewards between May 31st and June 16th, but then on post submission info says they pay the 6th of every month. So you're probably not going to get paid until July 6th. Child, these brands be trying it, okay? They really be trying it. And like, y'all need to get yourselves a PlayStation, Xbox, or something, because play with something safer. Don't play with me. Doctor said I would never go back to work past the doctor said I would be in a wheelchair bound by 25. I showed them I go hard because God is the only one to stop me. Period. Period. And Angela, aren't you in psychology? Can you not do virtual things, non-mobility based stuff? What killed me is the upload due date was June 7th. I would have posted it on the 5th if I knew. But hey, it's a $60 Amazon gift card that I didn't have to do much work for. Okay. And I mean, you can agree to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. If they give you the information up front and you choose to do it, cool. You choose to do it. But too many of these snake ass brands be trying to not give you information or give you misinformation. So, as to influence your decision or to get you in a trick bag. And shit gets real when it's not $60, but it's 6,000. I didn't have this with a brand, but I had a client really me up. They owed me $5,000, and it took them 7 months to pay it. And it was only because it had a CEO change, and I had to fight them to get what they owed me because the new CEO didn't value what the decision that the old CEO had made or whatever. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you value. The invoice has already been issued. The work has already been done. And I literally had to fight for it. And it put me in a very weird place because I was counting on that money at a certain time. But every state is different, you know. And you don't want to move to a state that does. This shirt is inside out. Child. I gotta get ready to go, but I keep saying that, and then I'm still standing right here. I'm going to make a smoothie. Oh, dang, I didn't realize I had some frozen croissants up in here. Okay, okay. This is all the fruit I got. I got pineapple, strawberries, and some peaches. Oh, but I don't have no coconut water. Okay, I wanted to make this with coconut water, so I'm not gonna make this right now, actually. Darn it. Coconut water adds electrolytes that I be needing. So we just want to take the rest of these strawberries to go. Exactly. Exactly. You can't move on and say you're not healthy now? Mm, gotcha. They don't. But their fight was less of like they didn't value me and more of like I felt like the CEO that came in behind this other CEO was just trying to prove the other CEO to be incompetent or efficient or whatever. So she immediately just was vetoing anything that was attached to that previous CEO. And it's like, girl, this ain't the fight you want, honey. This ain't that. So I love these when they had them at Trader Joe's, and then Trader Joe's would stop making them in favor of the sticks. But I love the shape of a chip, and they have them at Whole Foods now. This boy here is a bad crinkling, and he thinks it's a snack every time. He come running every time. Okay, I feel I gotta go. Any other questions or anything before I get off of here, y'all? I haven't really had no breakfast, but I'm taking these to go. Need some of these for some salt. I got some bananas right here for some potassium. And that's the only thing. Like, you have to be at contracts, which is why I ultimately got you know, what I'm supposed to get. But even that, having a contract can only do so much, because if you're a small creator and you're banking on this money, it costs money to take people to court. It costs money to be in court for however long and go through arbitration. If you got it right, she is cool as hell. I love her to death. We'll move mountains for her. Oh, Angela, thank you. not isn't going for him. If you pay attention to me as I appear online, you'll see glimpses of her here and there. I just am not a person to also make my friends my personality. America has a problem, honey. A problem. Okay, I got my little water. Cody got his harness on. He looking at me like, where the hell are my treats? He has some treats in the car for you, Cody. I wasn't tricking you. Don't be dropping the hints, Shanoa. No, but you will see us together. She's in some of my content on my personal page. You said, I don't know why I'm asking like I know people's names. It's hilarious. All right, y'all. I gotta go. I know. I gotta go. See y'all later.